All right, still here with us our panel, Emma Vigeland and Jeffrey Lord. All right, let's talk about this H.R. 1, also known as the For the People Act. It's actually a series of bills that more like a wish list for Democrats. Now, automatic internet voting registration, forcing the release of Donald Trump's tax returns or any sitting president. But everybody knows, Emma, this bill is not going to go anywhere because Republicans will spike it as soon as it passes the House. Now, will Americans, though, see through this tactic used by Democrats to insert these political wedge issues into the conversation?
Yeah, I mean, should any party push forward a bill they know isn't going to pass? Republicans do it all the time. They just did it with the spending bill, the House. So I don't understand that criticism. Secondly, I think, everyone should be in favor of more transparency in government. Every president should release their tax returns. Every president should be subject to that kind of scrutiny. The fact that Trump hasn't and just has kind of bullied his way out of that conversation says way more about him than it does the Democrats pushing this bill forward. And what I think is most important about H.R. 1 is that it encourages small dollar donations. The Democratic Party has seen a surge in grassroots support of people who are demanding that their politicians not be corrupted. Nancy Pelosi represents that old guard who takes a lot of corporate donations, not as much as the Republican Party, and not as much as Trump, who said he was going to drain the swamp.
Emma, on that front, we already see this change happening. I mean, we saw it with Beto O'Rourke. We saw it with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. They didn't take any super PAC money. And, if they want to run their campaigns like that, they should have the option to do so. The other thing, too, I wanted to push back on just a little bit is just because one party does something doesn't make it okay for the other party to do it. And, Jeffrey, we have so many things, including this issue with the border, that need to get resolved. I think everyone, regardless of their political affiliation, should be a little offended by these ceremonial bills that Congress tends to push out there just to kind of, create this debate and get the conversation going. They have things they need to do, and they're not getting them done. Now is the time to propose bills that can actually get through Congress.
But it can be amended. That's the point, is that you push forward legislation that you think can be amended and pieces get forward. And this isn't just a black and white issue.
Yeah, well, this is more like the Contract for America, I guess, kind of situation where, this is a wish list of everything Democrats want to see. I get it. They want to lay out their priorities, but it does seem a little hollow, Jeffrey.
Yeah. I mean, the very first thing I think they should be doing are things that they can agree on. Infrastructure, it would seem to me, would be number one. And I think I heard prescription drugs mentioned as well. Get those kind of things done. I mean, I've done a lot of driving over the holidays. Trust me, they need some work out there. And it would be a very good thing if Congress could agree on this and the president is amenable to it and get the bill to him right away and get it done. There's plenty of time to do these other things, but they do have a tendency to get off into this kind of symbolism, which is not very helpful. And not only that, politically dangerous. This business about the tax returns and all this kind of stuff, why are we stopping there? What about college grades? I mean, why, for instance, were Barack Obama's grades sealed?
Jeffrey, we can't go back. We can't go back in time.
No, let's talk about things we can agree on. Let's talk about that. 70% of Americans, overall, 81% of Americans want a Green New Deal. You want to talk about legislation people can agree on? The Republicans should get on board with what the American people actually want.
Emma, we can't just throw out statistics like that without knowing how the question is phrased. These things can be very subjective. Of course, Americans want a cleaner, greener country. They also want, everybody wants free everything, but you can't give everybody everything. And guys, we're going to have to take another time out for a short commercial break. We're going to come right back. A House Democrat is trying to eliminate the Electoral College. Is this what Democrats are trying to do now? We'll have that story and why they're trying to do this coming up after the break.